we will do our best to sift through those and get you some answers. While we do that, do we know if BDave is ready? I know we're a little early.
Yes.
We got about 4 minutes. Yes.
Yeah, we just need to switch over to whatever scene we're doing. I turned on the waiting room. So I will hey, we have a quitty.
Yay! We have a quitty too.
Let's
All right.
go.
So let me just check in with our producer. Are we good to? Oh, look at that. Wait, if I lean this way.
So,
hey, Bibi.
Hello.
There we go. If I lean like this, are we good to make a move over to the other one?
Hold on.
Ooh. Oh, there we go. Oh, no.
Do it live.
oh,
There we go. Hi, I love you. I miss you. I'm sorry.
Hi.
It's okay.
You're
You're booked
fine.
and busy, and we get it.
Right.
There we go.
Love you.
Now I don't have to
Hey,
lean
man,
anymore.
love it.
Oh, this is great. I love
Are
this.
we
All
all
right.
dead?
No. Oh, can I tell her? Can I tell her? Can I tell
You
her?
can absolutely tell her.
my
So
God.
your DM just tried to blow up
No.
Bertrand, and we don't find out till next season if he just got blowed up with the wistful wish.
Yep, sure did.
Sir?
There it is.
right,
Great.
right.
So we're going to box? I'm here for box.
Fisticuffs.
We're going to have a fight.
Fisticuffs.
Cuffs.
Abria's my
Oh
little
my
sister.
God.
That's my big sister that just showed up, who I'm hiding behind, and was like, "That's who did it."
I took my earrings off already. I came ready to scrap.
No, not
well,
ready
we
to
Put them back on
scrap.
to take them off.
We've been singing your praises here, Bria, because we weren't sure when you'd be able to join us. So we've already talked all about Exandria Unlimited and Magic and Misfits and where people should follow you. But do you wanna give your own little spiel real quick before we transition to questions?
Thanks. I don't know.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
I did pretend to be you earlier, so I did get a lot of it out.
It was
Fuck
great.
yeah. Oops, sorry. Are we allowed to swear? I don't know where I am anymore.
In like 3 minutes, we're allowed to.
I'm so sorry, front page. What a nightmare.
Rick.
It happens.
Yes.
It's
You got that
okay.
clout. You got that clout.
We're done on front page in theory in like a minute 30. So
Yeah.
and the show's
Twitch and
officially,
sorry.
yes, we're just waiting for BDave. I keep poking at him like, where are you?
Jeffrey
Which means he'll show
Bezos,
up.
please forgive me. It's fine.
No, fuck that dude.
Fine. Ha!
No,
I love it.
fuck Jeff Bezos. Yeah, I said it.
Oh, there we go.
We love
Spicy on Maine, y'all.
That's a
I
tragedy.
should go get some
Amazing.
wine. I should go get some wine.
You
Have you
should.
not had some?
Same.
Y'all trying
What?
to fight with Jeffrey?
We're trying to scrap
I
with
guess
Jeffrey
so.
Bezos.
All right, I am going to mods. If you would, I'm going to keep an eye. Wonderful, wonderful mods. First of all, can we get some hype in the chat for our mods? Because
Yes.
they work their butts off, and particularly on nights like tonight when we do have a front page slot, and there are so many of you, and you are all mostly so wonderful, but they are working their rear ends off, and we are so appreciative of all of them. So first of all, hype in the chat for the mods. Second of all, mods, if you want to toss any questions that you see and grab in the mod channel of the Discord, I will keep an eye in there, and we'll sort of bring them from there to the group, if you don't mind, because I am only just now realizing that I have probably missed several so far. And
It's
we
okay,
don't
we still
want
love
to do
you.
that. Oh, well, thanks. Do you though? I feel like I'm not sure anymore.
That's okay. I will text Sam and we will plot.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
He's watching. He's here. He's here.
Hi, Sam.
I do see, okay, I see a question for BDave when he arrives. That's very funny.
I'm just gonna keep messaging BDave on Facebook and be like, you have questions already. Where are you?
I do see one for me that's, can you pretty please promise Bertrand is okay? And I sure cannot. So there's
hurtful.
that one. If we were, I see another one about Bertrand. If we were to start a charity drive, what charity and how much do we have to raise to guarantee Bertrand's survival? Now that's an interesting
that seems like
question.
a very fitting.
That is a question though that I don't want to give an off the cuff answer for, right? Like we got to think about that. So we'll take that under advisement. Who was that? That was Happy Kaiju Stompy time. We'll take that under advisement.
Mandy brought out like the knife.
I saw that. Yes, I
Oh my
did.
God. Wow.
I love it. Let's see. Go ahead.
No, I saw a Tux comment. I'm like, Sam wouldn't even let me try to surprise Eugenio once, so he's not on my side.
Speaking of, I see a question from Tuck that says, for the devs, where do we get the inspiration for the cuisine of this world? Well, I'm going to start answering that question, and then I'm going to pass it to the people who actually need to answer that question. Because with a few small exceptions, I sort of pulled a few of the Mandarin food things out my butt in the moment, to be totally honest. And my inspiration for those was just, take any beachside vacation town that I've ever been to and make it a little weird. But a lot of the other food stuff has just come from these incredible players. There's a BDave. Has just come from these incredible players in the moment. So do any of you want to speak to where some of your food ideas came from?
Oh, I guess I came up with one. So it's just basically like Filipino / Mexican ceviche.
Oh yeah.
It's like what you have when it's hot out, like days like now. And sometimes people have it with an alcoholic drink of their preference, and sometimes they don't. But it's a cool, refreshing drink, refreshing meal, and it's all like fresh stuff, fresh seafood, fresh vegetables. The lime cooks everything, so it's super great. If you've never had ceviche before, if you don't have food allergies to seafood, give it a try.
Big fan of ceviche.
I too have never had ceviche.
What?
Never. I like seafood plenty. I just never tried ceviche.
I'm a
DJ.
fan.
It's cold, so I don't like.
Oh, it's good.
That's fair.
I've never had it. I barely like coleslaw. Many
So-
people don't know how to make.
It's not
that,
coleslaw.
So, believe it or
It's
not,
I know,
coleslaw.
I know, but
It's
when I think
coleslaw
of
with shrimp.
cold, it's
have-
cold food that some people don't know how to make right. So I don't want to take the chance.
Well,
on it
that's
and just be
true.
like, I hate this.
I have sensitive teeth, so I don't like cold stuff either, and I love ceviche. So
Okay.
yeah, and I don't eat it spicy either. So you can get it spicy. I don't eat it spicy. Yeah, I'm spicy enough.
Aha, yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, and I think that's probably true for a lot of the stuff that we come up with is, we know what this project is, and we know sort of, the devs have taken inspiration from a lot of our own personal backgrounds and our experiences with our own, cultures and things like that. And I have a feeling that's sort of what the answer is going to be for most of this stuff is, we took stuff that we know that maybe isn't 100% American mainstream and then tweaked it for sci-fi. Let's see. Oh, yes, we got questions in the Discord. Thank you, mods. This is awesome. There's one for you, BDave. Are you ready? This question is from the French Tuck, and it says, just why do you like to create eldritch nightmares?
I would also like to know the answer to this, but for inspiration.
Just because I like watching your faces when I do things like go.
David.
Stop it.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Eugenio literally promised us we weren't going to hear that sound.
No, I promised you I
Oh.
wouldn't make that sound. I promised you
that
I would not make that noise.
I'm
Shouldn't-
calling you when we are done with this.
Shouldn't promise what you can't deliver, Eugenio.
I didn't promise anything about you.
It's valid. It's
I'm getting wine.
You go get your wine.
It's just what's funny, believe it or not, except for just sort of like an armchair fandom, like the Cthulhu mythos and that kind of stuff is not really my jam. Not just because Lovecraft was a rampaging racist, but just just the crushing hopelessness that you don't live, you just kind of survive it. Fast forward, I do a Ravenloft show now, so womp womp.
Yeah,
What
well,
you're saying is it seems fitting.
Yes, it's a mood. It's a whole entire mood. Yeah, that's yeah, well, and you never go wrong with tentacles. Now, I will tell you this. I said what I said, Aabria.
That's a sentence.
What I said. Yeah,
That is not a disapproving look from what I
Look,
got. Like just throwing it out there. That
I
was not a
renamed myself
No.
in the chat to let you know how I feel about this conversation.
I'm delighted to the sound. See, everyone else is like, no, this is horrible, and Aabria and I are both like taking.
I'm fine with
notes.
it.
I'm like, you can have it. You can have it whenever you like, Aabria.
I am so married and I cannot be here for this.
Again,
Wow.
Touche there.
so let me not cause any trauma at home for anybody. So with the Hapalock though, with the Hapalock, I will tell you this: my guiding principle for them in particular was not tentacles first. They were a feature, not a bug. I wanted something just intensely very alien in the strictest sense of not from here alien, not that they're space aliens, that they're just not like us. And when I went from that, I was like, well, what one of the smartest other creatures on Earth right now is, cephalopods, octopuses and stuff. So I was like, it makes sense that you would have a race that would rise out of that in its own condition. And then what would that be like? And their motivations are not evil and not villainy. Their motivations they're just very, very different from how they communicate, how they see the world, what their own perspective is. And then taking that and just making it awful. Oh, that part was easy.
Yeah, that was something that you and I talked a lot about, is their how very alien they are, to the point of, motivations aren't what we would necessarily think of as even logical, because we can't sort of follow that logic. And that was really scary for me. But also, once I sort of was like, okay, this is fine, this is what we're going with, it was actually super fun to just be able to play creatures that can do whatever they need to do, and I don't have to explain it, at least not yet.
Exactly.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say there is an underpinning logic of why it is they are and why they're there and why they're doing what they're doing, But I will just say, as a parting note to cap off my answer, my DM style is I take what happens and I make it worse. That's it. I'm like, I take people's actions and inactions and I'm like, what is the worst possible outcome for what you've done or not done? And then I just start hurling sticks of dynamite. Yeah, that's it. Here you go.
And I am taking notes and learning to build my sticks of dynamite, and I'm getting there.
I believe in you. I won't say it's Eugenio. Here's the difference between us. You are just such an innately wonderful, sweet person, and you don't actually want to do anything bad. And I can't tell y'all how many times.
Him.
I can't tell y'all how many times.
Talking.
Here it comes.
How many times, especially early on, that we'd be in Discord. I'm like, Eugenio, no, make them attack. Eugenio, destroy the vessel. Do it, Eugenio.
Well,
are you behind
BDave,
Bertrand?
Were you here? Yeah, BDave, I know you've got other stuff going on Wednesdays. Were you here for the end of tonight's episode?
Unfortunately, I was not. I barely made it back in time for this.
Oh, good. Krystina, you want to tell them how this episode ended?
We don't know if Bertrand got blown up or not.
What happened to his ship?
That's rude.
That is a proper BDave response is what that is. That is just, if you ask him anything, just like,
did the whispering wish finally go down?
Well, it seems that it very well may have. They lost contact after some wild Hapalock railgun fired into the sky and lost contact with Bertrand on the Wish.
Well, let me just tell you two things. One, I do not know whether or not Bertrand or the Whispering Wish are okay. This is the first I'm hearing of it. However, I have actively campaigned for the destruction of that ship since the ship's creation. So,
literally since episode 1.
Literally.
Leone, mute this man. Mute this man right now.
Boo this man.
Power to do it.
Eugenio, I would like to submit a challenge.
Okay, I'm ready.
That hopefully, so as Tanya has said, everyone should go and promote her tweet that says, we just got a season 3.
Oh, yes.
And another thing that you can do maybe will convince Eugenio and BDave to be not horrible is for every single person in this thing right now, when you get done, to go on your phone to Apple Podcasts, go into the Motherlands and rate it 5 stars. Leave a review about our show. And maybe if you say enough nice things, and also say, hashtag bring down BDave and Eugenio in our reviews on Apple Podcasts.
Bring back Bertrand.
But you have to do, okay, fine, bring back Bertrand and not the truth. Okay, so do that, and everybody go give it 5 stars and rate it and do a review, and maybe our evil dictators will decide to, like, I don't know, be empathetic and kind. It might work on Eugenio, but it's not going to work on BDave because BDave. And I don't know, maybe Quiddy's in their ear because you know how she rolls.
Look at her.
Here's my problem.
I'm dead
is
serious.
I, as a player,
yes.
do
Go
not
ahead.
hurt my sweet bean. I love him and I love elephants with my whole heart. The DM in me, because I can split my Ayler like Quoth, is like, burn it all.
Wow.
Burn it all.
You know, the
See
moment
what rises from the ashes.
I'm concerned
No.
about both of you.
You
the
should
moment-
be.
Hashtag bring back Bertrand. Post your receipts on Twitter. I want to see it.
You know, yes, do what she's saying.
Do that.
The chances that will actually affect me are low. It will just give me a list of people to laugh at when the next terrible thing happens. But
Wow.
That sounds like that sounds like
Hater.
B-Dave.
Man, y'all.
Oh, you know, I kind of love
I
Sounds
it.
like me.
am
Sorry.
nothing if
Wow.
not consistent. Yes,
That's right.
yeah, that's
Look,
it.
I still got to play
Right.
D&D with him tomorrow. I have no idea.
Godspeed, Tanya and DJ.
Yep.
Look, we already
I
had
play a
this.
horror game with B-Dave on Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
This seems about right. This is par for the course for me. Like
Yeah.
for him to come in and say like, yeah, let's melt it all. It's like it sounds like Thursday. Like it's Wednesday, so it's a different.
How do you
Time frame.
I love it.
But it sounds about
I
right.
love it.
I also
Just-
love it.
Wow.
To be fair, I hate the idea of something happening to Bertrand, but I feel like if there's gonna be a cliffhanger, as somebody involved with this, it hurts to hear the possibility. But at the same time, it's like, ooh, I see what you did there, and I like it. It's like I see what you did there, and it's nice. It's nice. As somebody
Thank
who was watching and invested in it, I'd be like, I hate you right now. But also, season 3 takes too long. Like that's
I
how
know,
you
right?
properly end a season, at least in my
Mhm.
opinion.
That's it.
All right. Well, thank
That's
you.
Oh,
Wow.
All right, so we got a couple of questions that are variations on a theme. So we'll sort of pass this around and give us some quick answers. I think we'll start with. Why don't we start with? Do you all have favorite either moments from either season, we'll say, or favorite locations that we've been to, or things, creatures that you've seen? We'll do a little favorites. I love doing favorites in these Q&As. So somebody give me your favorites, and then we're gonna do that one. I figured that one would take longer.
This season was the okay. Every time Ilay gets to throw shade, obviously my favorite part. Second, the moment with Sila 919 and Ilay when Sila 919 was going through some things with her emotional software, and Ilay came and tried to figure out like how to support or help Sila 919. So I thought that was a really nice moment. I think that was my favorite moment from this season. So yeah.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Yeah, good one. Who else has got one? Aabria?
Ikemba healing Ilay. It was this beautiful emotional beat between the two of your characters. And then Eugenio, your description of that like transcendent moment, like I was lost in it. And like, I love those moments when you kind of like push through and you like, even being at the table, virtual though it may be, you feel like you're an audience member watching something special. And for me, it was so good.
For what it's worth, DJ, you have made Ikemba so clear in my mind, and I like you too, to be honest, that it was, it felt very natural because I understand the two of your characters very well at this point, and I feel like I just highlighted the kinds of things that you have mentioned about them. But so thanks for that. All right, who else has got a favorite?
Leonie,
yeah.
Hi. So the scene between Krystina and Aabria about respecting AI life, and that whole scene, I actually cried. I mean, you never see me, but I cried because it just hit different.
Yeah. That was a beautiful moment that I had no idea was coming, and was great. Also, I'm so sorry. We should I know we did this in the last season, but we should do it again now. We should introduce Leonie, our producer, who is behind the scenes in all of our streams, doing all the wormhole transitions, counting us down through the wormholes. I tried this season to do magic, but really, Leonie is the one doing all the magic. So thank you. All right, more favorites.
Go ahead, DJ.
I was just pointing out that I have changed my phrasing of my name. Like that's how you say my name.
DJ.
We're playing this game and I love it.
We sure are.
I saw it done and I was like, well, that seems fun. Let's
I mean,
let's go with that.
I keep stuff deep down. I agree. Like I agree. There's lots of darkness inside, light and bright on the outside. You know what I mean? That's
Also
me.
same. Very much
Things
like
I love about you.
bright and shiny on the outside, but like Batman on the inside. It's like it's there. It's just there.
Michael does have big Batman energy.
No, I got therapy.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
was about to say it, and I saw Lady Luck put it in the chat. The creation of the Gush puppies was obviously one of my favorite things because I didn't even know what I was looking for, and then it was just described to me, and I was like, "Well, of course, that's exactly what the I was wanting."
Can you
like,
explain what Gush puppies are for those that weren't here?
Please and thank you.
Can you explain Gush puppies for those
can
that weren't here?
I thought you wanted to do it. I was like, so it was a day where we could like, so I was in the hospital and it was like go explore for a little bit. So we went out and it was like a dock where there's a lot of shops and food going on, and the idea of like Ikemba going like finding a hush puppy that was just like in cake with cheese, a melty cheese ball in the middle of it, and it's the most amazing thing. And then French Tuck, I believe, made Gush puppies, which was awesome. And then Guava Jagular made the artwork for the Gush puppies. So like it's a thing that came out of a moment where we just decided to explore, see what was out there. Again, was like, I could eat some food, and it was like, yeah, but what about that cheese though? And I was like, yes,
that cheese.
Give me all the cheese.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
But also the real thing for me was when our high null fixer was confronted and her spider legs came out, and then she wrapped them around herself to like cradle herself in defense mode. It's like, and then she slowly opened it up, but just the opening of it, and it was like, all right, don't touch me, leave me alone. All right, maybe. All right, I'll come out. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing my classic. I wear my classic.
Let's see. I think Krystina and Tanya, you haven't given us favorites, which is fine if they've already been mentioned, but do you all have anything you'd like to add?
Ooh, over the last 2 seasons, I think.
I know it's hard.
Well, Invicta and Scylla learning how to people with each other.
Sure.
And our slumber party and doing our nails.
Yeah.
And then Invicta being forced to confront her past in a way when Koseh shows up. And for her, it's like, for those of us that did not have a great time in high school, it's like confronting that bully that is still a bully in your mind, but the bully has forgotten you exist or never knew you existed to begin with. But it's her own baggage she's got to deal with, and she knows that, but she still snaps and snarls because she doesn't know what to do with it.
But I love it. I've had such a fun time playing a foil for Invicta.
Yeah.
It's good. I love conflict.
I can say,
No, don't mean to interrupt. I would say super quick. My favorite moment still was Krystina Arielle's award-winning scene when Invicta got her emotions chip with Eugenio and Krystina. That was
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, just screaming. Yes, you are correct, and I have a normal amount of reaction to that.
I also have a lot of feelings. I just keep them here in my heart box. Yes.
Oh, well, I will say I've also really enjoyed through all of this. Krystina was real clear, which she and I talked, and Krystina made it real clear that she wanted to continue to explore Silent 919 having Mansagene therapy and doing sort of that whole thing to acclimate to these emotions. And it's been that collectively have been some of my favorite moments, because I will admit I was really nervous the first time this season that we talked about it, because I didn't want first of all, I didn't want anyone to think that I was trying to represent something that I wasn't, right? I am not a licensed therapist. I do not want to speak for neurodivergent communities that I am not a part of. But also, there is a level of just sort of emotional intelligence and understanding Silent 919's character in particular that once I was able to sort of once you and I, Krystina, had a flow for those scenes, I just really enjoyed those scenes with you this season, and seeing how Sila thinks about it and talks about it, and I don't imagine that those will be the last of those types of scenes we get to see.
I think like that's part of what I was gonna say for my kind of favorite moments, which is like, it's hard because I also have that thing in my brain where it's like, it's vain to say this is a thing, but it's not, because it's extremely important to me as someone who does 2 hours of therapy a week to see representation of therapy, so that people see that it is normal to work through your emotions, but it's also, therapy is not a catch-all. It does not solve everything. Like, a lot of it is through getting through your days and finding ways to cope and leaning on people, finding people, not dumping on people, but finding a support system. And like, I think it was very important in knowing Sila's story from last season about someone telling her, you don't have feelings. You don't, like, you're not allowed to have feelings. Even if this is something available to you, and her ripping her emotion center out, like, to go back and have that replaced, because she's found these people that she wants to invest in, like she wants to put her heart into, and to have this space where, fortunately, Eugenio is one of the most empathetic and compassionate people to lead this kind of a narrative, and to be able to hopefully have people see, like, it may not fix everything, but it really does help. And so even this android is finding a way to deal and cope, because that's what we're all trying to do right now, is to deal and to cope and just make it through another day.
Yeah.
And sometimes we find people that make that a little bit easier. So I really am very grateful to have the space to work that out amongst people that I do trust with all of my heart.
Yeah, the feeling is mutual, and I thank you for bringing that to me and to all of us to do. All right, we got a few more here from chat. Oh, we had mentioned, okay, so here's one that we can all answer briefly. How did we all get into roleplay? What are our origin stories in 3 to 5 sentences, if we can manage? I'll start. I started playing D&D right before 5th edition came out. That was my very first role-playing game, and that was all it was for me for several years. And then I think actually it was you, Tanya, when we were talking about way before, when you started making plans for what would eventually become Into the Motherlands. You sort of brought to my attention the fact that other role-playing games existed. And I dove into like 6 of them that next summer and loved the possibilities. And I have my love for D&D because it was my first and all of that, but like seeing all of these systems and the amazing different ways we can tell stories has been awesome. So like so much of my little career in gaming, I owe it all to Tanya. Who else has got a little origin story? Yeah.
Michael?
Oh, just real quick. So my last deployment in the military, we weren't going to have a lot of access to like tech and stuff. And at that point, I was watching like everyone else, the jump of Critical Role, like right when it started. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I can do that on deployment. Started that. And then watched Venture Maidens, which is a podcast, or listened to that. And then I was asked to be put on a show as a DM. I didn't want to be a DM because I was like a forever DM at that point, but then I got to be a player character. And then at some point I was like, I should stretch myself and expand and learn other systems other than D&D. And this is maybe one of the first or second times this show where I did that. So that's
nice.
I'm old. I started playing with first edition. I'm actually technically older than D&D. But I went to it, came back, left after a long campaign in 3.5. And then it's Greg Tito's fault that I'm back here, because he's the one that brought me on Dragon Talk and talked to me about D&D. And then when I saw the iconic human, that was 1, a dark-skinned Black woman, 2, a paladin, 3, insensible armor, I was like, give me all of it. And then he reached out about Rivals, and I'm here now.
I love it.
I am a natural ham. I get it from my mama. But I played my first role-playing like TTRPG game was live on Sirens. And I had never played D&D before, so I had my first full game on Sirens, and then I dove kind of head first, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can sing, I can play. I don't like, there's no scripts, there's nothing to memorize. It's just feeling your feelings in the moment and like rolling with it. And here I am like 4 years later, hanging out with the coolest people I know.
Okay, I want to do it in 3 sentences. Okay. Sentence 1. The girlfriend of a board game group.
Great.
I have hyperfixation and ADHD. I played everything forever because I needed more.
Yes. Yes. The haiku-ish of Aabria.
That's very well done.
Yeah, it was. All right. Anybody else got origin stories they want to share? We got several other questions and we're coming, but I'm curious about this one. So
I'll do the 3-sentence thing as well.
Okay.
My first D&D game was with friends in Pathfinder while I taught at Full Sail. It was absolutely awesome. The campaign lasted for years. I was invited to play a game when I was on Twitch and it turned out nice.
Yeah.
Yay! You're supposed to do German 3 with me.
There are so many of us, not myself included, but there are so many of us whose first time playing role-playing games was apparently in front of a lot of people on Twitch, which I think is awesome.
I do the Jurassic Park counting, the 1, 2, 3 that Dr. Ian Malcolm did. And I do it expressly because of Jurassic Park. That is the only reason why. Yeah. Yep.
Amazing.
4 or 5. Yeah. I, like Tanya, was there when the deep magic was written.
All right, Aslan.
I actually started with a game called Riffs, which is bananas, and then started playing D&D soon after. Vampire in the World of Darkness as an angsty teen in the 90s landed square on my head. Like I was the demographic for Vampire, Werewolf, all that, and just been doing it all ever since. Abandoned D&D completely during 4th edition, came back shortly after. That's when I detoured to Pathfinder, came back for 5th edition, and the rest you've seen happen on screen.
I like that.
Now, I have been notified that there is a small song in waiting. Is that a true statement?
What? Look at Krystina's face. Yes. Yes, what? Mama.
#bars.
Okay.
I'm confused.
As most of you who have played with me know, I usually play a bard, and sometimes I get a melody stuck in my head, either original or not original. During this game today, I came up with something that is not original, but bear with me. Invicta hates water, in the sea without line. Ikemba wants a cheese special.
Yes.
Koseh's Tiwi was special. But I'm a cap. No, I'm an admiral. What's Eugenio doing here? His stories belong here.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. I love it.
Oh, sorry.
I love it.
Never apologize.
Didn't resist.
I need this as an audio clip immediately.
I know, right? Right?
You put it in my veins, chat. Put it in my veins.
I mean, it is the summer of Aabria. Are you really going to tell her no?
It is my summer.
Wouldn't dare.
I mean, I'm rocking your shirt today.
You did. I know. I love that shirt. All right. We got a couple other questions that I would love to get to. I know we're rocking up on 9:30 Eastern, but there's a few more questions that I think we can probably get to. Let's see. Which one do I want to grab? Oh, this one. I'm actually really interested in this question. French Tuck asked, where do you all see, if you do, where do you see the impact of your characters on the broader world of Vitoa? Which I know is sort of a big question because we are still building Vitoa, but what is, now that you all have had 22 episodes to like know that you can affect things, like how would you like to affect the world, your characters? Anybody got thoughts on that one?
I think for Ilay, I'll just always fire off it. I'm so used to being called first for everything. I just fire off the hit now.
I am not sorry.
Nerd.
That's me. So I think that Ilay, noticing especially in space that there was no like specific way to search and rescue in space, and that was like a huge problem we had to figure out on the fly. I think they would either work with Torch, they would probably work with Torch.
Man, I gotta write this down. Hold on, keep going.
Okay. Well, they would probably work with Torch so that they can form like the first like space, like solely focused on space search and rescue. So I think that is what Ilay, that's what they would plan. Mm-hmm.
I love that. Anybody else got thoughts for y'all? If not, that's okay. We got lots more questions, but
I have no idea.
I don't know. Like, Invicta might try to train more Hyanol in the ways of Bladekeeper.
oh, okay.
Just to be like, oh, so this is for everybody who mocked me. I got you. Because that's a me thing I would
That's
do.
fine.
That's a me thing I would do.
I'm sorry, have you not met me, Eugenio?
I mean, no, it's just, I never know what if we're gonna say it,
Oh, I'll say it. Invicta and me would be petty to be petty. Be like, oh, y'all doubted me while I studied the sword. I got you. By the way, here's my 20 degrees.
Yeah, right.
That'll do it.
Sila, if she can get through all of this stuff, will be the world's best motivational speaker.
Hell yes. Hell yes. I love that.
And her own hype man too.
Yeah.
And she would be so good at it.
Let's go.
I love it. You know what, Dave? I'm curious to sort of twist this question a little bit for us. You and I have talked a lot about what kinds of stories we want to sort of set Motherlands up to tell. So thinking about that, what are some of the things that we would love to see, either these characters or just anybody who plays Motherlands, player characters in general? What kinds of things do we want, or do we envision, I should say, them sort of doing to affect the world and the setting that we're creating?
I mean, are you asking me or?
Yeah. I'm curious what your, pie in the sky, like what you would love to see.
Well, good news. We get to do what we want. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
we can make it anything. Yeah. My thing and what I've said to everybody that is contributing to this game, and I've tumbled around in my own head from the beginning, is tell the story that 10-year-old you needed. What was the world that you needed to get lost in, the city you had to dream about, the character you wanted to see reflected in that's my thing, to fill our sandbox with enough pieces to assemble those dreams. In that I would love to see the game function in such a way that every table's different. It might be action and adventure at one, and suspense and intrigue at another, and eldritch horror in another one, and build something that is broad enough to carry all of that. Personally, because I think when you give people a chance to find themselves reflected in the story, they will make the story their own. And at the end of the day, that's the name of the game.
Yeah. Yes. That, when we do have that book together and it's out in everybody's hands, I've said this since episode 1 of season 1, not everything that is true in our streamed campaign world is necessarily going to be the canon state of being in that book, right? Which should sort of, in my personal humble opinion, should sort of always be the case when you're playing a game. You make your canon world the way you want. But yeah, exactly what Dave just said. I hope that everyone who plays this game, and this is true for us and for everyone who's going to get their hands on this book, we can tell whatever the hell stories we want, and we can make of Vitoa whatever we want. These folks here are I don't want to say too much because this is some season 3 stuff, but they are well on their way to making a huge difference in our version of Vitoa, and the way that whatever these machines are interact with Vitoa, whatever the Hapalox plans are, how that interacts with Vitoa, they're very much going to have that sort of global effect on our version of Vitoa. And if you want to do that when you're playing, awesome. If you want to just affect the town of Mandira, awesome. You want to go to Hathaway, great. I think it's exactly what you said, Dave. It's whatever story is there that you want to tell, as big, as small, as impactful as not. I hope that we are giving you all the tools to do that, because that's exciting to me. And I am hereby giving everyone explicit permission, which you don't need from me, but I'm going to give it anyway, to make of the canon whatever you want and to make this stuff exciting for you. All right. There was another question that does anyone else have an answer for this one? All right, cool.
No, I was going to say something, but I'm going to be sarcastic. Shocking.
Okay,
I've said this on Twitter and I've said this elsewhere. For the love of God, please stop asking us if you can play this game if you're white. I'm going to say it again so y'all can quit asking me, because otherwise it's just going to get you a block. Stop asking us if you can play this game if you're white, because none of us can get on Twitter or Instagram or anywhere else and go, can I play D&D? I'm black. Or can I play D&D? I'm Latinx. Or fill in whatever blank. Because if we did that, we would get run off Twitter in no time flat. Our mentions would be trash for weeks. So go play the game. Just don't be a caricature while you do it. And if you write fanfic, just don't tell us.
Yeah, legally, please don't tell us.
Don't want to know.
Yeah, right. You want to know, but then if something happens from that you don't want to know. Oh,
no, that's what I said.
I
Don't
thought
want
you
to
said
know.
I want to
Don't
know,
wanna
and I was
know.
like,
Let me-
no, you don't.
Don't want to know. Let me clarify. Do not want to know.
Do not.
No fanfic for me, please.
No.
Krystina.
High five.
Oh.
So I really want to, in everything, you do not have to DM like Quiddy. You do not have to DM like Matt Mercer or Eugenio or Cypher or play like any of us. You don't have to play like anyone but yourselves. If you are at your table, you decide your rules, you decide your formats. So please go into it prepared to have your own version of a good time, not trying to recreate someone else's chemistry and game, because yours is uniquely yours, and you need to remember that going into any situation, into any gaming system that you are using. We want you to play this game, and we want you to have your own stories, make your own memories and adventures, and lean into that. You don't have to even have details of our story, because what you do is uniquely yours. So go do that thing. And then don't critique anybody else for doing their thing the way they do it.
That. All right. Let's see. What else do we have in the questions? Oh, here's sort of a fun one. If your character was going to play in a genre other than sci-fi, what do you think might be fun for your character to play? And whether it's, pop them in a fantasy world or pop them in a, gritty noir world, or I'm trying to think of other fun genres that I just would be really amused to see the five of you in.
Ooh.
Go.
Or what other character of yours would you like to see interact with your character here too?
Ooh, I love that. Well, we already had Desmond popping in for Ikemba today.
We did not. That was not an actual thing.
But it started to creep around though.
I will start with this one. For what it's worth, I would give anything to put Bertrand in a fantasy world with magic. I think he would just eat it up.
Literally a thing. Like the Strixhaven D&D set's coming out, and you can there's elephant humanoids there, so you can just plop them right.
I was
there.
gonna be real inappropriate by how I keep messing up his last name and calling it a dirty word.
Now.
It's just close enough to it that I want to say dumb things. Koseh would live her best cyberpunk life. She is built to just do dirty tech in the future.
Oh, that's fun.
I would love it if Invicta and Celeste could meet.
Whoa.
I would also like it if Invicta could be in Vampire the Masquerade, because I feel like she would be with the Lycans, or she would be, I don't know. And Dave, tell me if this is possible. Can you be both a Lycan and a vampire?
You can, but it's very rare and complicated. They're called abominations, and nobody likes or trusts them. But yes.
I mean,
I'm
that's
sorry,
my real
I've read a
life.
lot of fan fiction. That sounds like it's the horniest one.
True.
Porque no los dos.
That thing.
Porque no los
Everything.
Wow.
Incredible.
Everything.
Incredible.
Everything.
Oh boy.
Incredible.
Wow.
I love it. Any other thoughts?
Yeah.
I feel like-
oh, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
you first. You were talking first.
Sure. So I think they'd be awesome in I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but like Star Wars, because they would be like really good as a gray Jedi, because they they already like know two sides of a coin or two sides of a thing. So that'd be cool. And then if Ilay could meet my character that I play in Let's Get Wildmount, Leros, that would be really, really, really interesting. I think they'd be like a sit down scene for like an hour as they try and figure each other out, which would be just like super complex, but it would be a treat, I think. So that's my answer.
I like that.
I would want to see Ikemba in some sort of like ER kind of universe. So anywhere there's an ER to where like
Clooney ER?
Kind of a Clooney ER. Like if you could mix ER and House and then like something very futuristic tech, like that is like not cyberpunk, but like to be fair, I feel like Ikemba would kill it in that kind of universe where like people could like blend with machines, and then he could like find, all right, so this would work better over here, and then just like figure out how to make people machines. Like, oh,
I want to see Ikemba. Sorry, I didn't wait until I got called on. I want to see Ikemba in a Miyazaki movie where all the food is beautiful.
yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Wait, I was so busy thinking about 45-minute medical drama.
Yes, please.
Oh.
No face. Spirited Away. Yeah.
I love it. Yes.
I would love that. I would love that immediately.
I feel like you've already channeled No Face a couple of times. Did we get yours, Krystina?
No.
Tell me.
Okay, realistically, if I'm thinking about this, the game that I would most love to put Silent 919 into, Real Housewives. Totally. Dramatic dinner. I want to see it. I would love to see it. It would make me so happy because it is the most heightened emotion situation.
Oh no.
And like you get into the moment where somebody has to go and like slap somebody and they're like, oh, and she's like, oh, this is what we're doing, and starts like she slaps somebody with their braids and they're like, and she's like, what? That's how everyone was interacting and I understood it. But I think the most everybody, like somebody already said it, and there is only one person in the world that I think could 1,000% win over Admiral Silent 919, and her name is Barbarella Sarsaparilla Gingrich.
I mean, yeah.
And she would just make her so happy.
Yeah.
Dude, could you imagine Silent trying to process that joy?
Absolutely need that in my life right away.
1,000%.
Oh,
absolutely.
I would love to see that interaction, and like she would build her self-esteem up so much. And like make her love herself. It would be so great.
Oh,
Krystina.
I do love that.
Trying to give everybody the feels, like in the Q&A.
I mean, you know,
giving people the feels.
Have you ever had a conversation with me? It is what I do on a daily basis.
That's true.
Feels all day.
Okay.
I love it. All right. Well, we're about to wind down. Is there anything in particular that folks want to? So I just saw.
Yes,
go ahead, Dave. Yeah.
One small thing, and you might have already said it. Even though the Kickstarter for the Into the Motherland source book is completed and was very successful, thank you, all of you. You can still late back it. So if you didn't get to support it yet, you can still jump on. We have a lot more things that are coming out. I was on getting details about a lot of the products and add-ons. I know a lot of it, we just had to like get enough information to keep moving, but we're going to be showing some dope stuff. You see something you like, you'll still be able to support it all the way up till when it comes out. And thank you all for making it possible and making it a success.
Yes, that. Now I did see a question. Oh, great. So there are two questions. One I want to address very quickly, which is just the question is, when will Major Rafia accept Silent 919 as an admiral? And I'm pretty sure I mentioned this on the air when this was happening. But Dave was in the chat during the first episode of this season, and I could go find him, but I was getting Discord DMs from Dave being like, you cannot let her be an admiral.
Literally, I was like, no.
Fight me because I did it. You can't change what I do.
not the way the military works in this world.
No,
yeah,
sir.
literally,
No,
it was
no,
just
no.
I
can't
feel
hear
like
you
I
'cause
can
I
say
don't
with
want
some
to.
authority.
I
that
call her
Admiral
Admiral, so I
Silent
think that
919.
counts.
Pirates, you're all pirates now.
It's on my jacket.
It's on the jacket.
You
Wait,
don't
did
know.
you bedazzle a jacket?
Well,
Now you're gonna do it, aren't you?
I did.
I will just say this one thing. An admiral, by definition, is someone that has command over multiple vessels, and we don't know that you've even got a vessel anymore.
Oh, damn.
Ooh,
Shit.
Listen, I was about to say this.
rude.
Someone
I am
please gift
Admiral
that.
Silent 919.
Please gift that.
I don't care what you say, because you can tell me who I am all day long, but only I know, and only I know how I earned this rank. So get off me.
Actually, we had a little transport ship, and we could just keep it, and that would be 2 ships, and that would make her an admiral.
You mean the hovercraft that took you to Bandira?
It counts as a vehicle.
It's a vehicle, not an actual ship.
This is definitely Koseh, though. This is definitely Koseh's
Koseh
idea.
built
here.
it.
Also, I carried our entire crew on my back, which makes me my own ship. So
I think that should also count.
Okay.
transportation
Wow.
vessel, me.
Oh my goodness.
She gave me candy, so I follow her wherever and call her whatever she wants.
Wow.
That's true.
Eugenio's
He
right,
does
though. He
keep
couldn't
saying
help that. Like, literally, it was scrolling on the Discord.
It was very funny. And my response was
Wow.
something along the lines of, "Oh, I'm afraid to say it, but Major Rafia will take care of it for us. Don't worry."
That is
How'd
what
that
you
work-
said. You were
how'd
like,
that
I
work
can't
out
tell
for
her,
you?
but the major
Not great.
can. Yes, that is
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
I'm so gonna slip reprogramming into Silo.
Oh, bet I come back next season and see what's up. Bet me.
I can't wait.
And you know
all right,
where I
there is-
live.
There
That's-
is it's spicy. No, it's fine. There's one other question that I saw that we can you all can answer as much or as little as you want, because I do know that some of the answer is we'll find out in season 3. But we have a question about Invicta and Koseh's relationship, because now that Invicta and Silas seem to have sort of begun to understand each other, we have a new foil. So the question is, how do you two see them working on their relationship in the future? And, you know, again, as much or as little as you feel like sharing before we get to see some of this in season 3.
Would you like to
And maybe the
begin?
answer is nothing, you know, because maybe we don't want to spoil anything. I don't know.
I don't necessarily want to speak to like the future because that's all so contextually dependent.
Sure.
But I definitely, I'm happy to speak to like where they have left off things. And there is so much of them sort of talking past each other and not being able to get to like the 3 sentences to connect and be okay, that it's been really interesting to spend an entire season just locked in like the inability to push through to like meaningfully like ameliorate or deteriorate the relationship. It has been stuck in a really uncomfortable stasis the whole time. And that's been incredibly fun to play in, when like neither person knows or wants or cares to or is externally or intrinsically motivated to change that. Like it makes for like season 3, something has to happen. It's like when like the weather is like gray and like heavy and still and you're like, it's got to break in one direction. So I'm very excited to see like the way in which that works itself out.
Yeah. Tanya, you got anything you want to add?
I mean, Aabria covered a lot of it, but I know for Invicta, she's going to have to do a lot of soul searching, especially if, you know, like once we deal with how we ended this cliffhanger and she gets back and finds that, you know, like how does she deal with, is she mad at Koseh for not being there? How does she deal with that? Or does she realize that she gave her all and then some? And how does she accept that? Because all she's seeing are those people that tormented her and treated her like she was the weirdo because she didn't want to be stuck in a library or teaching science or be an engineer, that she wanted to show that she could
I don't
be
even
both.
understand what you just said. Like those words meant nothing to me. What do you mean not be an engineer.
Oh, are you in character? Because for a second I was like,
Yeah.
what?
I did too.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I realized you were in character because I was like, what are you talking about?
Why are you giving Big
Yeah.
Rasputin right now, though?
Right? But yeah, she has some work to do, and maybe she'll need the Hyanol equivalent of therapy.
Y'all, I'm gonna start going to get a psychology degree at this rate.
Look,
We
Eugenio,
gotta-
sometimes therapy is 6 people on a stream with thousands of people, and that's
You ain't
fine.
wrong.
That's
You ain't
valid.
wrong.
As long as everyone
Oh.
consents, though.
Let Sila be your relationship counselor.
Oh, that's
No.
good too. I'm gonna write that down.
No,
Huh? Huh?
Lord, no.
I love it. I love it.
How many relationships make you an admiral?
I can't. Y'all, this has been such a blast. Thank you all for everyone who stayed to hang out with us, to ask questions, to celebrate both the end of season 2 and the announcement of season 3, starting in I kept saying 4, but it's 4 blank weeks. So we start in 5 weeks, Wednesday, August 4th, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, back here. Why don't we go around, since we've added a few people since we did our outros, let's just go real quick and just give where folks can find you online, Twitter handle, Twitch handle, whatever you want, just really quick. We'll go across as I see it on the screen. So hilariously, that does in fact mean that we're starting with Michael.
Yo, what up? Always me. Okay, hello. Michael Sinclair II. I go by Michael Crits on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram I barely use. And then, yeah, that's where you can find me on all the things. I play Magic the Gathering on my Twitch and perform TD RPGs all over the place. Done.
Love it, Leonie. Yes, I'm calling on you. If you would like to share, you of course don't have to.
Hello, everybody. I am Leonie, also known as Gloss and Gadget, and I'm really sorry for my audio because the only people that need to hear me are these people. And you can find me everywhere on the internet at Gloss and Gadgets. I make things. That's it.
Made a sweet keychain that looked like a leaf, wet, but it wasn't. It was actually absolutely awesome. You should see it. You should link it in chat. If you don't, I will.
There you go. Sorry, I lost my internet for a second. That was super exciting. Seem to be back now. So moving right along to Tanya.
Oh, hi. You can find me, back here in 4 weeks on Wednesday nights, but I can't talk about that because they're still in embargo, so never mind.
Yep.
Move.
But Thursdays, you can find me along with wherever DJ. I had to think about where you are on the overlay.
I know.
With DJ on Black Dice Society with Dave. So all the Black Dice Society are all in one row. This is convenient.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And then not this Sunday because it's a holiday, but July 11th, Rivals of Waterdeep and Dungeons and Durags returns. So basically from 12 noon to 5 p.m., I'm doing all the D&D.
Yeah.
And as you saw earlier, the tweets are now out. I too am going to be on the D3 cruise as a celebrity DM, whatever that means.
I can't wait. All right,
It's
hopping
kind
back.
of self-descriptive. You're a celebrity,
I don't
You're
feel
a
like a
DM.
celebrity.
but
You literally
are
had a
for
movie.
sure.
in
I was about to say,
Tribeca.
like, how many of us have movies? Like, if you have a movie made about you and you're
Thank
on
you.
screen right now, please
And
raise
you're-
your hand.
A
Tribeca.
movie made about you while you're
Yeah.
still alive.
Specifically about you.
I've
That's,
been in a museum while I'm still alive.
but
It's
like,
just not like if you're
again,
blind.
if you are one of the people on the screen right now and you have a movie about you that you can watch right now,
Called
literally
Game
in 1 hour
Changer.
and 6 minutes and 1 hour and 6 minutes from now can watch on BET. How many of us can say that that is a fact for them?
It's true.
You're in the
I don't see
movie
the hand up.
too.
I'm sorry, I don't see the hand up. But is it about me though? Is the movie about me? don't
Moving
think it
right
is.
along
I
before
don't
we
think it
get
is.
glared to death.
Yeah.
Although-
Hey, look, if looks can kill, I'll be dead right now. But aside though, because I'm gonna go out repping for my people. You a
Right.
beast. You're an amazing human being. Cypher is a legendary human. It's been there for like 20 minutes because it's a fact. You were amazing, and
yeah,
I
there it
love
is.
the fact that people are singing your name from the rooftops because they should be.
I'm glad I have
Wow.
on makeup.
There it is.
Love you.
All right. I have no doubt that that will not be the last of the Cypher hype we hear during these outros, but let's go ahead and pass on over to who's next on this, Krystina.
Hi, my name is Krystina Arielle. You can find me online at Krystina Arielle, Krystina Arielle. I am the host of Star Wars The High Republic show. The first 3 episodes are out now, along with the first wave of books. The second wave just got released. please go check out that show when you see it. Give it some love. And also check out Comic-Con at Home next month. I will be hosting the Lucasfilm Publishing panel, talking all about, there's really cool stuff coming that I can't talk about, but you should watch that thing because it is really exciting for me. Also, I am going to be joining Shipwrecked Comedy and their Headless Horseman series. So please go and check out their Twitter and our Kickstarter and help us raise funds. We are so close to our goal. We just unlocked Jenny D and Matt Mercer and all these really, really cool people. So go and support it because I want to get this project made because I want to play a high-strung type A secretary.
Yes, I love it.
The only reason you need.
Truly the only one. Truly the
With
only
a
one.
fro?
Hello. DJ, you're up next.
Oh, hi, I'm DeejayKnight. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Insta, TikTok, DeejayKnight. I'm there. I'm weird and I like you guys for coming to hang out with us. Thank you very much. Also, you can find me on Thursdays in Black Dice Society with the people that are in this row. Like it's exciting. You should see it. I get to play a lycanthrope. Who's a human ranger at the same time. Like it's a good time. You should come hang out.
It is a good time.
And also looks amazing in teal and does excellent sound effects. Also plays tons and tons of sci-fi games. You know what? If you're going to do this to Tanya, I'm going to do it to you.
Yeah.
Because you two are awesome.
Every time.
You are
I was trying to keep it simple.
phenomenal.
Nope.
Thank you very much.
Nope. All right, looks like I'm next. So hi everybody, I'm Eugenio. You can follow me on Twitter and here on Twitch, DM Jazzy Hands. If Tanya's there, I'm probably there unless it's Black Dice or D&D and Durex. I do also have a D&D podcast you can check out. There's a thing that I do on my own. It's called The Last Refuge. Go check it out. Follow me on Twitter. Thank you. Aabria.
Hi, follow me on social media at Quiddy, Q-U-I-D-D-I-E. Check out Misfits and Magic on Dimension 20, which airs on Wednesdays on dropout.tv. Check out Critical Role's Exandria Unlimited. There are billboards now, so just...
yeah, let me get that tweet from Matt. Hold on, though.
Oh, wild. Y'all, I drove home to get to this down Hollywood and saw two of them and like, it was like, oh, I'm just gonna cry in traffic, and that's fine and a normal thing to do.
Fine in the club.
Or not.
Yeah.
Twitter's like F and you. Twitter's broken.
Yep, it is, bro.
Twitter's gank right now. Yeah.
Whoops.
Well,
Fridays you can catch me on Failed Save and D&D Live. I just finished up my run on Gax Pack. I'm taking a little break while projects that film across a bunch of weekends across the summer all get taken care of. But your girl will be back because I've got some unfinished business with my boy Thanato. Yeah, that's Dave. I love you. You can catch me on D&D Live, running a very cool game with a bunch of WWE superstars in mid-July, and Comic Book Radiant Black, which is our crossover. It does a crossover with The Unleashed, which is a game I ran last fall. Our comic book is out, so please go look at that. And that's weird, and I don't know how to say these words anymore, so I'm gonna stop.
I love it. And Dave. Yeah, you get one.
Hey, it's me, BDave Walters. I say words about things. You can find me all over the interwebs, wherever fine streaming content can be located. Again, bunch of announcements coming out. Can't tell you yet, but you're gonna hear soon. The Adventures in the Forgotten Realms commercials are coming out. That's dope. We had a lot of fun shooting those things.
They're so good.
Pretty much everything I've got going, one of you already said. I do stuff. Follow me on the Tweetagrams at BDave Walters. I have enjoyed indirectly emotionally traumatizing you beautiful people with this show, directly emotionally traumatizing people on Thursdays on the Black Dice Society. And let me just say, Tanya DePass is one of the most wonderful, amazing, genuine human beings that God ever created. This literally would not be happening without her. And let me just say, a lot of people talk the talk, but most importantly, she walks the walk because she takes every opportunity to boost up other people around her and spread her success. And that is a rare trait in this world, and the world needs more Tanyas. That's it. I'm done.
Fact.
Amen to that. Y'all, thank you. Thank you for sticking around this extra hour, for hanging out with us for this Q&A, for supporting Into the Motherlands, kickstarting, signal boosting, just showing up every week, watching the VODs, whatever you do, we appreciate it. And that is why we are coming back August 4th, Wednesday, August 4th, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific for season 3 of Into the Motherlands. In the meantime, we will see you all around the interwebs. Don't go too far. We are going to raid Betty Nix, who is playing something.
I don't know.
Okay, great.
Apex
We're gonna go
Legends.
over there. Give all Apex Legends. There you go. Apex Legends. We're gonna head over there. Give all the motherlands love. We will see you all in 5 short weeks. In the meantime, please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Please get that vaccine as soon as you can. And as always, happy gaming, y'all. See you soon.